Hey folks, welcome back. This is lecture 3 in our continuing series of lectures on torts. Today we're going to talk briefly about business torts. It's a subsection of intentional torts because people do those things intentionally. Remember I said earlier that intentional torts are where people are presumed to know the consequences of their action. They either knew or should have known, and the courts test the intention by a reasonable person. That is, would a reasonable person understand that the acts that they're doing would intend to harm someone? If so, then it's an intentional tort. If not, probably won't be found liable by the court. Anyway, today we're going to talk about intentional business torts. And the two kinds that we're going to talk about I guess I better get my Hawaiian lady out of here before she falls to the ground. We're going to talk about two types of business torts. The first is the intentional interference with a contract. In this case, the defendant has interfered with a valid contract with the plaintiff. The defendant must know of the existence of that contract, and they must intentionally induce a breach of that contract. For example, let's say that GOTS is using ABC hamburger buns for their hamburgers. So somebody else comes along, like say Model Bakery around the corner, and says, hey GOTS, we know that you have a contract good for 2 more years with ABC Bakery for your hamburger buns, but let us take that contract away from you and we'll give it to you for a little bit less money. So remember the elements. They knew there was a contract and they intentionally interfered with it. ABC may very well be able to sue Model Bakery for intentional interference with a business contract. Okay? So now that's one kind. Interference with a business contract. Now remember, K is the symbol in law for a contract. The second is interference with a business. Now, this is the interference with a person's whole business. Now, in this case, the defendant must use some sort of predatory action or predatory method for intentionally harming the plaintiff in the case. And it must be against either an established business or a prospective business. Some sort of economic advantage that the plaintiff is enjoying that the defendant is trying to interfere with. Now, this happens all the time where one business tries to get the business from another business. But what's the difference? It is only a tort when the business that is trying to get the business uses some sort of predatory method, like, for example, an illegal price rebate, a division of the markets between 2 different competitors, some sort of predatory action that is based upon trying to get that contract. If the plaintiff can prove these elements against the defendant, then the defendant may very well be liable for all of the damages that the defendant has caused the plaintiff in this case. Now, next time we're going to start talking about negligence. And negligence is the meat of tort law. Most kinds of cases in the law system are based on negligence, and it's where we find, remember we talked about contingency fees? It's where we find contingency fees. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks.